We've got Richard and Kath, so we're just waiting for a little bit longer for a couple more people to join, and then we'll get started. Thanks for joining us today as our second session. My name's Brendan Mills. I'm sort of part of the sales team. I'm representing the sales team here at Stock in the Channel today. I didn't do the previous one, so forgive me if I make any errors along the way. I'm joined on the call today by some colleagues. We have Farshid, who's one of our lead developers looking after the integration with our partner, who's represented today by Matt. Matt works for EKM, who we work very closely with for our managed print integration. So myself, Brendan Mills, I work in sales at Stock in the Channel, Farshid from the development team, and Matt from EKM. And together we're hopefully going to give you a little tour of what we do with managed print. So we are, as you're probably aware, just starting really a beta testing program. So we expect along the way to uncover some little issues or some development areas, and we're hoping to find some clients that are happy to work with us through that period, which we expect to last a couple of months. The service will be offered free of charge for that period, and whilst we work with you guys, it really gives you a chance to help shape the way that this program develops. You may come up with some ideas that we haven't thought of, and hopefully we can introduce those. So really, if you've not used MPS before, just a brief sort of background into what MPS is. It's managed print services. Lots of offices all up and down the country have many printers in them, and the traditional way to order toner was to get on the phone when it comes up saying toner low, panic. We've got no toner left, can't print anything until the next cartridge arrives. What managed print allows you to do is take away that sort of desperate we run out, because through our partners EKM, we can put a device or a software device on your network, on your client's network, that monitors the printers and will tell you in advance of the cartridge running out, and that is then the opportunity for you to supply the product. That's a very, very simplified managed print. What we do here at Stock in the Channel is take it to the next stage, which is to actually order the product for you from the distributors. Now, if you're regular users of Stock in the Channel, you'll already be aware that it's very easy for you to plug in all of your individual price feeds from your suppliers. Within Stock in the Channel, we have probably 20 different distributors who supply quite large portfolios of OEM toner, and then we have many more who also supply compatible toners. So your options basically are to receive a sales order from the EKM platform, which drops into Stock in the Channel. Stock in the Channel can then advise you of the best place to purchase that based on your own personalized costs. So there's some real benefits there in time saving and also in efficient purchasing. So yeah, we're going to run through a few of the areas today. MPS at a glance, the benefits for resellers and their customers, how the solution works, and then I'm going to hand over to the other guys from here, really, because they know much better about how it works than I do. Okay, so MPS at a glance. Basically, we will give you access to a portal on the EKM platform. We'll set you up on there and give you the login details. That will allow you to deploy software onto your customers' networks, which will go and discover all of the printers and then tell you what the toner situation is, what the toner level is on those machines. It'll also predict, based on usage, when the cartridge is going to run out, which is pretty handy. And then effectively it'll order the orders for the printer are created within Stock in the Channel as and when the toner runs low. And yeah, the PO is sent to the distributors. Main advantages: it's hassle-free. It's the cheapest way to fulfill the order. Every time you place a purchase order, Stock in the Channel can help you find the best way to fulfill that order. And that doesn't mean just the cheapest supplier. It'll also take into account things like the carriage charges that your distributors charge you. So if you have 5 different suppliers for a particular toner cartridge, you're able to go into all of those 5 distributors and set your carriage charge rules. So West Coast charge you £10 delivery, Beta charge you £5 delivery. Well, even though Beta are £6 dearer, maybe, well, sorry, £3 dearer on the cartridge, they may still be cheaper on the order once you've taken into account carriage charges and things like that. So our system can help you purchase at the right price, basically at the best price available, and do the whole thing very efficiently. Here's a fantastic chart. I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but this basically gives you the workflow of how the setup process is. So I'm probably going to get Farshid to explain a bit more about that now. Farshid, would you like to unmute yourself?
Sure. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining. So as Brendan explained, so we start from Stock in the Channel. So apparently you have your details set up in Stock in the Channel. We pass the details to EKM. So we set you up in the portal. So it starts from here. So set up resellers in web portal. The second, we also send the admin credentials for you guys to join. So we email them to you. After you log into the portal, you're able to add your customers. And adding your customers, then also installing the monitor on your customer's network, which you can download it from the portal itself. And you need to pass some details to your customer, so it's per customer, so you install it on your customer's network. And after that, the EKM actually automatically creates the request. So the software that you install on your network and the web portal, they talk to each other and they create requests for actually supplies before they run out of. And the settings Matt will explain later on how you can set all those settings, so based on what level of ink the request is getting created or not. And also you can review and confirm pending supplies and also create manual requests if you want. Then sending the request to Stock in the Channel. So this is at the moment manual also, so you just click and you send the request to Stock in the Channel. You might get suggestion for the same printer for other cartridges if they are running out of printer, so you can combine them all in one order. Then matching the product and creating the sales order and Stock in the Channel, also updating or adding the customer details and delivery addresses. So Matt will explain about delivery addresses later. It is per customer and then zones and other details. Then you, of course, you can review and update the sales order before sending the purchase order to distributor, and then sending the purchase order to distributor and cartridge getting shipped to customer. And also you get the order status from distributor and also the shipping details and many other details. So that's the whole workflow and how Managed Print solution works. Now we're going back to Brendan, and we start actually how we set up the system from stock in the channel, then we go to Matt in EKM system, and then we back to stock in the channel, and you see the order that has been created. Brendan, would you please hello? Okay.
Hi, sorry about that. Okay. All right, so this is a demo of stock in the channel account. And basically what we have here is we've plugged in some distributors. It's the usual setup. You will already have this on your account. You may have a different set of distributors or more distributors connected, and you'll know how you can just perform searches, and up will come your pricing and the stock level for the products that you search for. What perhaps you won't have seen before is the order processing menu. So if we go back to our account page, we have baskets, quotes, sales orders, purchase orders, supplier invoices, shipments, accounts, contacts, reports and quotes. So basically what we can do here is we have an orders inbox, and sales orders inbox basically is where the items that you've sold, be it a converted quote or an order from the managed print service, will just drop into here with a selection of products that need to be shipped to a client. How they actually get into here is more Matt's area, and we'll come back to that in a short while. But fundamentally, once you have a sales order in here, you get to change the pricing, the values, edit as much content as you need to. This is a completed order, but no, we don't have any other orders here.
We have processed the orders already, so
okay.
just open one of them and they can see. Just click on it.
Yeah, okay. So basically it selects the product that it needs, the consumable, the supplier. You would be able to actually change the supplier. This has been processed, so you can't change it, but before obviously an order is sent, you are able to select the distributor, override your own preference. It will automatically select the lowest cost supplier from the ones that you have available, but you can actually override that if you wish to. A number of distributors, probably about 26 of them, are actually integrated fully with stock in the channel. So once an order is approved, a sales order has been approved, it will be converted into purchase orders, and the POs can be sent electronically directly into the likes of Tech Data and Ingram and West Coast, directly into their system. You don't have to email them anything, you don't have to phone them up. We already have your prices from the feeds coming in, and we literally just push the purchase order into their system directly. So they send back to us a response, and on your computer here you would have a purchase order screen, which may be empty. Okay, no, right, these are completed. So basically you would look down this list, and once you see it, that it's completed, you know that the distributor has received that order and it's been processed. If the distributor hadn't finished processing the order, it would be marked as pending. So it's pretty established technique that we've used for our regular order automation service customers. So we have a number of customers now that actually use stock in the channel for purchasing reasons, and it's really just a case. The only difference here is how the sales order enters our system. So with Managed Print, the sales order comes in from the EKM software, whereas with a web store customer, perhaps we might pick up orders from Magento or whatever the e-commerce platform is, and they would appear in stock in the channel as sales orders. So this half of it is very well established, and we can help training and teaching how to use that part. There's also integrations for a number of accounting solutions. So Sage, for example, we have Sage 50, Sage 200 integration. We're working quite close with Autotask at the moment. We already have quotes integration, but the billing integration's coming soon. Exact is another software that we integrate with, and we have a full API as well. So if you wanted to write your own integration, you can. So really, I think what I'm going to do now is hand over to Matt. I'm going to make him the presenter so that he can share his screen, and he'll show you how the EKM platform works. Okay, Matt. Coming your way, Matt.
Hello. Right. We just. Okay. Alright, so my name's Matt Voisey. I work for EKM Global, and we're the company that developed the Insight Managed Print Portal system, which is quite a large system that's used by a lot of very big managed print service providers to give a service to their customers in terms of delivering toner and charging for usage of printing and dealing with printer faults, engineering events, all kinds of management and monitoring of fleets of printers. In the case where we're working with stock in the channel, we've taken all of the knowledge we built up in that area and converted it into, distilled from it the techniques we need to deal with ordering of printer consumables ahead of time. The whole principle being that Insight will monitor your printers in your customers' offices and generate requests for toners and ink and other items before they actually run out in the printer and before your customer needs to contact you to ask for them, so that you can be prepared and order them ahead of time. The Insight portal itself takes the form of a cloud-hosted secure web application. You can access it from your standard web browser using the URL sitc-insightportal.net. This is a portal we've built dedicated to the stock in the channel integration that we've just been talking about. To log into it, it's the usual. You'll be given a username and password from stock in the channel, which will be registered to your account, your reseller account. It will be configured for this beta testing program. Much of what I'm going to talk about in this presentation is to get you going in terms of setting up the system in terms of this beta test program. So the dashboard here is what you see when you log in, and it shows the current status and a readout of how many supply orders are pending at the moment. More details about this later. As I say, we're talking about setup for the beta program. So the main thing you need to do when you get your access to this portal is set up accounts for your customers. This within Insight. This is done quite simply via the customer menu on the left. You can click the search button to view a list of your existing customers, or the create a new customer button to add a new record to the system. You can enter the new customer's details using the form provided. The address here gets used as the default shipping address for any of the orders that are placed for consumables generated. Alternative delivery addresses can also be registered later if your customer has more than one location to which consumables should be delivered. As it says in the picture, for compatibility with stock in the channel, it's important that you enter GB as the country code instead of United Kingdom. Just something to point out in advance. The new customer record is created and shown here on the screen. In order to detect and monitor printers on that customer's network, they need to install an Insight printer monitor. You can register a new monitor with the system using the Add New Monitor button. Each monitor needs a unique name. Leave the other options as their defaults. Entering technical contact details is completely optional. The monitor record gets created. Note here there is a license key value. This is the activation code that the customer needs to enter when they install the software in their office environment. That's the next part that we're coming on to, how to install the printer monitor. The download link for the printer monitor is on the dashboard of the Insight portal. So you can copy the link URL and send it to the customer together with the license activation code that we generated earlier. Installation on the customer's network follows the standard Windows installer package. Ideally, the computer that the monitor is installed on should be a server that's up 24 hours a day, but any Windows desktop or laptop PC could be used. It's vital that the machine is able to discover and communicate with the customer's printers via their internal network infrastructure. There are no prerequisites for the monitor software, but it could be necessary sometimes to configure the customer's network firewall to permit outgoing communication with the EKM Insight Portal cloud service. Some additional values are required to complete the installation. You must enter the service provider code SITC for this beta test program, and the user needs to enter the 12-digit activation code that we discussed earlier. Each code is single use and can only be used to install the software once on one machine for one customer. The monitor will then offer to scan the local network looking for printers. Sometimes there are other alternative address ranges in the customer's environment that should also be scanned for printers, and these can be set up later. The monitor includes a status and administration console for advanced users. Typically, there's no need for the end user to use this unless assisting with troubleshooting. 3 green ticks on the display means that the service is running and is able to communicate with the Insight portal server, and will go ahead and monitor any printers that it finds on the network. The printer monitor can be left unattended. Once it's running, it simply looks for any new printers that arrive and monitors printers as they move and change. In particular, it reads consumable levels from all of the printers about once an hour, and it sends that information up to the portal where we can use it to decide whether toners and inks need to be requested. That's the next phase. Back on the portal side, when you log in with your account, you'll see on the dashboard there is a list of the consumable requests for all of your customers that have been generated, either today and yesterday or in the past. This is example data from a demo portal we have, so some of it is 300 requests we haven't dealt with yet because we're not ordering them. Clicking on the number 9 here in this dashboard will take us to the 9 items that are required by this customer, which are listed here on the portal. At this point, we can go through and decide which of these items we want to order via the stock in the channel integration. We could sort and filter the table, so here we've filtered it just to toner, and then we can use the tick boxes on the right to select which items to order. We can action the requests, which is to go on to the next stage, but consumables can also be ignored or placed into a queried list to revisit later. Based on the items you've selected to order, Insight automatically suggests additional items that could be ordered at the same time. These might not be required in the same time frame, but could be sensibly pre-ordered if a single delivery combining costs is required. So Insight will suggest extra consumables that may not fit within the criteria of running out within 7 days, but might as well be ordered ahead of time while you're placing the first order. A final confirmation step allows adding of notes to each item ordered. This is recorded in Insight and shown as an order history for each printer. Then the sales order is automatically posted to stock in the channel for fulfillment. Now this is where we saw earlier Brendan showing you the order in stock in the channel, and at that point is where you would use the system to confirm and place the purchase order with your distributors. Now at this point I'm going to pass back to Brendan, and we'll go through any questions and further information.
Yeah, so that's sort of a bit of a whistle-stop tour really of the solution. Fundamentally, it has a number of benefits. It can provide your customer with a service where they don't have to worry about running out, which is key for larger organisations with large fleets. It also has the option that you can send your customer one invoice a month for all of their purchases, basically. So you just manage their entire fleets and one invoice a month and a report that says this is what we've delivered. From your point of view, it's also a value add that you can give your customers. You can say to them, hey, this is going to give you the option to basically forget about your print requirements. You can also use it as an in. So if you install the print sniffer on a client's network, initially you don't necessarily have all of the business for them, but you can actually quote them ahead of time and say, hey, look, we know you're running out of this. Here's a price. Maybe you ring them for the first few times, and then eventually you say to them, hey, do you want these calls, or should I just deliver it for you? And it's a good solution to help your customers save time and money. Yeah, any questions really at this point? I'm just going to unmute the people on the call. Oh. Oh. No questions? Okay, well obviously, bit noisy there. What we'll do is we'll obviously, we've actually set you up now with credentials, so either Farshid or your account manager, Stock in the Channel, will be in touch to send you over some credentials to the EKM portal. Any questions that you think of after this, please ask away. We're really looking for people to beta this for the first couple of months. That will involve a little bit of work, but hopefully it's well worthwhile. We can get your distributors set up for you, plug in any feeds that are required, and get the credentials required to actually send them XML purchase orders. We can do most of that for you with a little bit of your input. So, yeah, thanks very much for your time today. I'm going to unmute you one more time in case there's anybody got another question. Otherwise, I think that's the end. Farshid, do you have anything else to add?
No, actually, no, that's everything. Thank you very much.
Matt, do you have anything else?
No, I mean I can show a few more little bits about Insight if you have some time, but otherwise, no. I've gone through the things we need to do for the beta test.
Okay, I think let's just unmute these guys. Any further questions, or anyone like to see some more of Insight? No? Okay, all right, well in that case, thank you very much for your time. So we'll be in touch to follow up and hopefully get you guys set up in the next couple of days. Okay, bye for now.